Welcome back for part two of the Rennebu AutoDrive Network creation. Uh, in the previous part, we got around with almost all of the main road and some of the side paths and businesses and whatnot. Not a whole lot there. It was mostly main road, and I did a lot off camera, of course, to keep the video short. What ended up being, I think, about a half an hour video for you guys, which will drop here in 5 minutes at the time that I'm starting this recording, uh, was about 3 hours 45 minutes for me. All of which, pretty much, other than the time that I spent doing the little bit of editing to the game files to bring in the temporary buildings back in, was spent driving around the map. That alone should tell you just how big this map is and how much time it's going to take you when you're playing it to drive around on it. I think it's about a 15, no, about a 20-minute drive in this tractor on the primary road, the one that we're sitting on right now as I talk, uh, from one end of the map to the other. That is a long drive, and I made it twice because I went both directions. So, yeah. All right. Oops, our tractor was already running and I just shut it off. My headset is unusually quiet today. I don't know what that's all about, but turned it up a little bit. There we go. So we are going to get started with business entries into our various sale points. So where we are at right now, let me zoom way in. This is the animal dealer, and this is the bakery. So let's get started. All right. So now, with the position of that point for the bakery, I had already planned on doing this. Backing in. Huh. That's unusual. It didn't create any points for us on the reverse. I am wondering if secondary paths are not allowed to have reversing. I honestly don't know. I've never tried it before, so I guess one quick and easy way to find out would be to pull forward here, get a little bit past this guy, and we'll create a standard point, and then we'll reverse off of that. That must have been it. All right. And now we're going to boogie forward again. And I want to completely abort all of that. So we're going to quick, other than that first couple points there, that was terrible. I did not like it. So you can create it reverse, like, and then change it by shift clicking on the points like I'm doing. There we go. We are going to make a complete hash of driving that. Alright, first thing we're going to do is back this point in a little farther. And the reason for that, there we go. We're going to name this. Actually, I better read the name again. Send Brecca with 2 Ks, Bakery. So we'll name that. Boom. I'm 99% sure that this is a production. It is, so we will slide that down into our productions points. And now let's back away from it. We're going to head out here on the roadway. Do a quick spin around because we're going to travel to it. Hit it. And of course, the reason that we're traveling to it is to test it, make sure everything works. Which it looks like it does. Beautiful. And now our guy will just back right in there, nice and smooth. Bingo. Alright, this we're going to connect to here. We're going to just put that right there. And then for our exit path, we will start right here. And beautiful. So I did the left-hand turning first because we came in from that path, and I have to go back out and create the path from the near lane to come in. So what we're going to do is go out and slide this point over a little, connect that onto there, and now we're already going this way so that we can do our entrance from this direction. And to do the entrance, we are going to completely break into oncoming traffic. So a tip that I've given before in other videos and whatnot on doing AutoDrive is that you want to try and record the network using the longest reasonable set of equipment that will go around the map. The reason that you want to use the longest or biggest is so that anything can take your corners. Anything that's reasonable for the map. So I'm using this setup. It makes all of the corners. Everything seems gold and kosher with it. And it will let me record in a fashion that anything up to this large will be able to take all of our corners, no problem. And as you can see, I pulled forward from the point there so that I can give it a test where it goes out and back in. The out I wasn't worried about, but that corner coming in, with me having to go out into oncoming traffic and then circle in like this, I'm always concerned about those more than others, just to make sure that they clear all obstacles, which this definitely does. So, all right. Now that leaves us getting into the animal dealer. And to do that, I think I'm going to come off like this, maybe a little farther forward. And we'll come off of that point there and have it pulling around. And let's see if I turned soon enough. It looks like I did. Now, I don't know how big the trigger area is for that. What I'm going to do, though, is connect that there and try reverse. So that might work, but I think that what we need to do is actually pull these points down a little farther. And just play with this curvature a little bit. Alright. Let's back up some more. Whoops, I'm too cockeyed. Fix that. And I think we will want to probably, if we make the assumption that people might have animal trailers this big even, we'll probably want to go all the way to this point here. So animal dealer, and now if I pull forward away from that point and test it again, let's see what she does. Whoa. Alright, that's my fault. I didn't pull forward far enough away from the point. There we go. That should do. And now it should pull around and into the animal dealer. One thing that could be done is just to drive across the grass. And I definitely considered it. But we'll have to see how this behaves. And I'll have to test it with a livestock trailer at some point. So far so good. And then it spins down. Tight squeeze, but it makes it. It does look like we might have to move that point out a little farther, though. Because I don't think that's going to work. Then again, I don't know where the trigger is, really. I'll just wait until I test it with the actual animal trailer. For now, we carry on to the next thing. And probably the best way to do that would be to look on here. So this is the starting farm. Bergton. Probably want to get that done. So I think what I'll do is I'll use our wonderful teleportation capability. As soon as I remember what section that's under. Was it under? Yeah, teleport right there to map selection. So click on that. Zoom way in. And teleport. Hot diggity. And we're right here. So looking at this, everything appears to be through the second driveway right now. It doesn't appear that where the temporary buildings are at got used at all, which is good. It's good, because it lets us pull in here, and we will do that. And this was horses? Cool. So, Bergton horses. And what is next? The next thing over is the farmhouse. This one here is the Bergton Old Sheep Barn. And then there's the big old cow barn, of course. So the sheep barn is off to our left here. Alright, so this we will call Bergton Farmhouse. And that looks like the workshop in there. We're not going to create a network directly into the workshop like that, but I probably will create some small path to and from right here. I don't know. Probably, maybe not actually. It might just be better to do this. Berg, dang it. Machine shed. Alright. And then we can zip around here. And we just continue on around here. I'm not sure yet where all the points are on the barn. I have not messed around with animals on this map. Chances are some of them are inside. So for the moment, we will just that is beautiful because that is pretty much a perfect shot straight out there. So we come in from our current left and we can exit to our current left. Let's go the other direction as well, eh? Alright, so we'll kill that. Connect there to there. And there. To there. And then this can have the excess two-way taken off. Alright. That gets us a fair bit of distance. I do think I want to make at least a minor change here, though. I want to pull this over a little bit and connect to that point instead. And the reason for that is I want to diverge off of here. Nope. There we go. Alright. And this will be, well, what does he call it? Let's call it, there we go. Make sure we call it the same thing. Bergton Cow Barn. And now we can go right there. I want the reverse part of that path removed. In fact, I didn't really want any of that path reversed, did I? Thinking about it, it's a bad idea. So we will take the reverse off. The yellow points and yellow and brown lines are a lot harder to see than the ones for primary. Alright. I'll see myself, I would put another driveway right there. But, that's me. Go around. And have this connect in here. Now there's one thing, of course, that I didn't address there, and that's the slurry pond. Slurry pit, rather. Since it is enclosed. This is going to want a connection here. So that people can come around. But I think I put it too close to the building. We'll have to test that after I make my next section here. And what do you mean, next section, right? Well, we need to be able to access the slurry pit. So, the slurry pit gets its own little branch off here. So even with a pretty big tanker, you should, in theory, be able to make this. Click that off, go there. And Bergton Yard. Alright, so I should now be able to hit slurry pit. From the slurry pit, we'll go to the yard. And then from the yard, we'll go to the cow barn, just to make sure that the whole cycle, including all the circling, works. Perfect. Although, perhaps get rid of that point. Move that one a little farther up. Now, Bergton Yard is the next one. And that's not going to be any kind of problem. And now Bergton Cow Barn. And we'll see if I made that connecting path to circle back around too tight or not. Survey says oh yeah, definitely did. It made it, but I am not a fan. So we'll pull it there instead. So now, if I whiz by the cow barn here, and then re-engage to the cow barn, there we go, a little bit more clearance. It didn't make a huge difference, but I wasn't looking for it to make a huge difference. And that's Bergton. So just making sure I spelled that right. Bergtun, which is what I have. So if we go in here now, we can hit Farm Bergton. And I can put all of these into the folders. And that is everything from the Bergton yard so far. A little bit more might get added based on people's feedback or things that I discover, but for now, that's it. You do see some temp end of roads here. Let me show you one of those. Right here, I think, yeah. So I started right here. I went down here and then I turned around and I came back this way and then I cut this way and made it that way. So this section is only a one-way and this section is only a one-way. I didn't connect this direction. But then going up this other side to here, that's as far as I went, just past the corner to this. Because these side roads are going to take a long time to map out completely. And what I said earlier about using the largest vehicle that can reasonably navigate, this is not that. This is too large of a vehicle for a lot of those spots. Alright, rather than me driving, because that does take so long, that whole section up there is done. I think I will come over here. Just cross the river. Perfect. Alright, so you guys have seen what I'm doing. I'm going to not record every single one of these sets of buildings. I'm just trying to give a general overall sense of what I'm doing to create the AutoDrive for this. So the videos would just be gigantic. This is already going to be at least 20 minutes of the two segments that I have now. This current segment is 12 minutes, 45 seconds now, and the previous segment was around the same, so I think so, around a half an hour. All right, I shall return. All right, I've brought you guys back because I've just fired off the test for what I consider my best reversing uh, network, not network, route, reversing route to a point, an unload point, ever. Now, we're going to just follow along. And this part's a little bit rough because he's kind of skirting around through the yard, well, the grass anyway. In my own game, I would paint a road texture here and probably do a little bit of smoothing. But you can see where this unload point is at. This is for the hayloft on the Bruholt family farm. And I wasn't sure that this would work because it's reversing on a turn and everything. But even with this very large rig, so imagine that this was, rather than being a large trailer, it was a large forage wagon. Look at this. Look at this. Up the ramp and everything. It works. It works. And I'm quite pleased with it. And of course, then we could just zipper it around to the other side. And fill our trailer back up too, which also happens to be another reversing point. Which is why I did what I did. It has to be reversing points into a lot of this stuff. Now, I am considering taking out the loop around the barn, coming in from here, where I do already have this path right here coming in, and then backing up all the way around. I'm gonna record the pathing to do that right now, and I will bring you guys back if it is successful. Fingers crossed. All right, folks, let's give it a test. I think it will work. I even managed to get it up there first try and didn't have to delete my points and start all over from scratch. That's not the easiest thing to do, backing around a corner like that, getting it first try. I do think I am a little close to what is the near edge right now, but as long as it works, I'm not going to complain. I just had a thunk. We're going to stop this guy right here. Hold on. F11. Vehicle. We have this big old trailer. Let's set it to 5,000 liters. Okay, perfect, right? And now we change our route type to unload. Might as well test everything while we're testing, right? Ooh, where's he going? I screwed it up a little bit by stopping it where I stopped it. But that's okay. It seems to have self-corrected. Close enough, anyway. Woo! Close to that building because of the correction. Alright, here we go. Sorry about the noise from my drink there. I didn't realize it was so close to empty, and I gave a good pull on the straw. Alright, come on, baby. You can do it. Yeah, that is a little close to that corner. Ooh, I'm going to have to adjust some points. But that's pretty doggone good. Interesting that it automatically pulled back down off of it. I didn't tell it to go anywhere else. And in fact, I'm going to stop it because I want to go back up over there again and adjust those points. Alright. So, how could I make this a little bit better? Well, I see already. Just pull those out there like that. Alright, so what happens if we go hayloft load? I want to do this, yes. And I want to do hay. Ooh, it's not going to have any path back because I deleted the loop around the barn. This is going to break. And that, my friends, is why we test. Because, yeah, I deleted this loop around the barn. So we're going to turn that right off. And I'll bring you back once I've completed a way for it to do this. Alright, shall we give it another try? Let's see how this works. I really hope it works. So far, so good. And that's going to open right back up because, yep, we're going to get within a detection range of the trigger. Ooh. Not close enough to the building, apparently. So let's see if it works this time. I'm not sure how far out Ola has that trigger. Not far enough, apparently. Or this trailer just doesn't work for it. Huh. I cannot get the top to open. How the heck do I open the top on this one? Very strange. Okay. It wants to work now. Oh, you got to be right up against the building. I am going to bring that up as an issue with Ola because that's less than ideal. Alright, so now he's going to go down around his loop. Yep. Beautiful. And he's going to come back all the way around and go and dump it back in the hayloft. Yeah, he's going to negotiate the Y corner here. And perfectly right around just exactly where he needs to go. Now you might wonder why I didn't set it up so that they could go direct from the load to the unload. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Why? Other than for this testing, that would not be done. You wouldn't dump it in the barn and then immediately go take it right back out. Now, you could argue that they might. I'm sorry, you wouldn't take it out and then go dump it right back in. The other way around, you might be able to argue that they might dump in, say, um, hay, but might take out silage or something. Ooh, that's even worse. That didn't actually help our path there, did it? Might have to work on that some more. But everything seems to work, and I'm happy with it. I will bring you guys back for the next exciting thing. Okay, I thought I'd bring you guys back for one more test run. We're going to hit go on here. This is going to zip down. Go straight over here. So with a few judicious point changes, going from unloading your trailer to loading your trailer now works, as one would expect if you were doing like what I said, where you're dropping off a load of hay and pulling out a load of silage or, whatever. I think I also got this to work. Yes. It says start filling, and my guy is not filling. Why is he not filling the trailer? Ugh. I don't know what that little nasty bug is about, but I don't like it. I mean, it should work. It clearly says start filling. Although this trailer is a little weird. The open and close is not on the normal button. And that's why it didn't work for me. Right now I'm repeatedly hitting slowly, so it has time to act, the button I normally have set for open and close cover. It does not work. Somebody had the bright idea to assign it to one of the standard function buttons rather than the open and close button. So your standard X, V, B, Y, they have assigned it to Y. At least, I think it's Y. Hold on. Actually, there might not even be anything on the keyboard for it, it looks like. I don't know what I'm doing here. Interesting. Alright, so X. Actually, no, it is Z. Z is. I wasn't even looking at the trailer, I was looking at the menu because I was trying to see an entry for it on the controls menu and it wasn't popping up. They have assigned it to Z. Why they have done that, I don't know, but it's wrong. Alright, so let's go empty because we don't need this weighing us down as we drive. And I will bring you back later for whatever the next awesome thing I do is. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of part 2. I have now connected up every single sale point and production point, and I believe I've also gotten all but one electric charger, which I need to go down and get. I'm right here. I've been working on making the road in and out of here usable. So I'll run back in there real quick, get that electric charger, and then off camera between part two here and part three, I'm going to go up this final road that I don't have for the main roads. That way I can call the main roads complete and publish this version of the AutoDrive as soon as I complete that main road and that electric point over to my GitHub repository for AutoDrive networks. I'm going to continue to work on it though. Actually, I think there's a couple other small things I need to do, like this is part of a farm, so yeah, there's little things that I should do. Um, Ignore all these house icons; those are temporary buildings that were defined as houses. So I won't have all the different multiplayer farmhouses in yet. Um, I'm going to keep working on those, and I won't have any fields in for this very first release. Those are coming. I will continue to work on this and publish regular releases on my GitHub. So if you're looking for that, just watch the GitHub. There's a way to do that in the upper right hand corner when you're looking at the page. All you have to do is have a GitHub account, and it'll email you whenever I update that repository with something new. All right. Thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful night. And as always, I will see you on the next one.